Hey everyone, it's Armor Gaming. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Monster Legends. The Rara Avis challenge is here. The Rara Avis challenge is finally here. You'll be able to obtain and rank up Rara Avis, a magic attack with extra turn skills. With the right combo, she'll chain several attacks in a row, dealing tremendous amounts of damage. She has an evolving trait at rank 0. She's immune to Curse, which is a very unique first monster to be immune to Curse. At rank 1, she becomes immune to Blind. That can help with Total Blind, Minor Blind, Blind. And at rank 3, she gives True Vision to herself at the start of every battle, meaning she will not be missing her attacks. Acts as a challenge when you have all the necessary tokens to unlock it. If you haven't managed to get them, you can obtain them from the Rara Avis's tokens chest in the shop. Alright, so let's assume you got all the items by yourself. If you didn't, you can always go to packs, you can always go to chest. The problem is, here, let me get this real quick. The only problem is, let me scroll to the right, where is it? Contains one of the tokens needed to unlock Rara Avis's challenge and earn the Mythic Magic Attacker Rara Avis. The problem is, if you buy this, it's just one random one, I believe. It's not all 5 of them, so you can end up spending quite a bit of gems just trying to get it. If you're missing quite a few items, I wouldn't even recommend doing this. I would just skip out on the event and save your gems, because the thing is, the event itself, this is going to cost you quite a bit of gems itself. So as you can see, it's 20, 30, 50, just like I called it. I hope you watch this video if you want Rara event, or yeah, I hope you watch that video titled like that, because I've experienced these progressive islands enough that I kind of know how things go. So the first thing you do is just press item 5 times on every single token, and this will give you the avatar. So if you got all 5 items of each, all 25 items, you at least got yourself a very free avatar. With that being said, the next thing we do is this gets into the actual gameplay of how to get the monster. So the first thing you want to do is obviously you want to fight. So we are going to fight. Now I told everyone like about a week ago to save around 300 gems, because historically that's what I've noticed that you're going to need around, assuming you don't have perfect logins. If you have perfect logins and collections, then you're going to be good. So anyhow, I did my fight, and then I want to make sure to collect gold. I want to feed my monsters, and I want to hatch eggs. The key to take away from the Tales Challenge events, from this is what we call Progressive Island, we literally just had one with the magic stones, is you can get the maximum amount of items every single 8 hours. Which means, collect gold, I can get 6 collect gold items every 8 hours, feed your monsters, it's going to be 4, and then fight and hatch eggs, those have that, hatch eggs is also 8 hours, fight, that one you can do every 2 hours, and you can even pay 2 gems to fight again. I played in the magic stones, and I showed you guys how sometimes if you spend the gems at a specific time, it's even better. So really quickly, let me just collect gold again. I think I have 5 items. I need to find a monster to feed, and then just feed any monster. It doesn't have to be anyone specific. You don't need to feed a certain amount. You just need to find a monster and you need to feed them. I think this monster needs to be fed a little bit. I'll feed him a little bit. I'll exit out here. I got to get my last collect gold item. I haven't gotten it. I'll go back to feed. As soon as I feed the monster, I will get my items. Watch. Bam. And +4. Okay, so I notice I am still missing 1 collect gold item, and the game's not giving it to me. If ever you find yourself in a situation where the game does not give it to you, simply exit out and log back into the game. I have found that this always works. There's never been a moment where this hasn't worked for me. So I'll try that right now. And then I'm also even going to show you on my baby account literally the exact same things. So let's let the game load. Come on, game. Alright, cool. So now that I'm back into the game, you're going to see that literally the minute I press collect, that's when I'm going to get my item. So collect. Bam, I got my +1. So I'll go back into the tail event and see I'm 6 out of 29, 4 out of 16, 1 out of 3, 0 out of 4. Oh, I need to hatch some eggs. Let's see who I can hatch. So you'll notice the first monster you try to hatch with, you won't get anything. Watch. See? Don't get anything. But the thing is, the second monster you hatch, that's the monster that will actually give you the reward, the egg. So let me just sell another monster. I think it's a genie. Let me sell a genie. And if you don't get anything, what you could try doing is, there's 2 things. Let's see if this works. You can buy an egg real quick. I'm going to buy a Treezard. You can buy an egg real quick, and maybe selling that egg, that'll give you the item. If that doesn't work, you are going to have to hatch a monster and then sell a monster, and that's what's going to work. So really quickly, I wanted to see if this works. So Treezard, that didn't work. Alright, but I'm gonna hatch Thunder Eagle, and then I'm gonna sell Eggnog, and that's how I'm gonna get my item. Okay, so see, that's the trick there. You actually need to get a monster from your from your breeding tree or from your breeding mountain. You need to put them into the hatchery, and then you can sell an egg. That's the trick for that one. It's also the same trick you use for the maze, in case you ever find yourself not getting the item. So now when I click on here, the cost has significantly gone down. It is now 150. Do you remember what you started with? Here, let me show you. Let me go on my baby account. Oh, I gotta do all this again. So 5 out of 5, 5 out of 5, 5 out of 5. Yeah, so the only reason you're collecting these items is to even unlock this event. So that's what I was trying to explain in the previous video. Hopefully that made sense. Hopefully you saved your gems. So the cost started at 242, and it is already down to 150. So then the question is, when do you skip, right? How far do you need to go until you skip? Now, and I tell this multiple times, I don't necessarily have an answer of when should you skip. I don't know if it's a good idea to skip right now when it's 150 and then maybe do the playthrough of the others too. I don't know. I really don't know. It's always been hard for me to say. I've had players tell me that you can actually pass the whole event with 150 gems. I'm like, oh wow, that's good. I don't think I've ever experienced 150 gems. It's always been more like 250 for me. So that's why I wanted you guys to save around 300 gems, because I know it's hard to log in every 8 hours. I know people are busy, and maybe now you have more time and maybe you will be able to do near perfect logins. But I just wanted to give you guys that option of have some extra gems, more than you need, if anything, just to make sure that you can actually get this monster. So just to show you guys again on my baby account, I am going to go ahead and collect. I'm going to go ahead and feed. You'll notice I don't get anything with, like, it's almost like when you do the action, it initiates your items. So the first time you do it, you don't get anything, but the second time you do it, that's when you get your stuff. So I got my +6, and then I'm going to feed this monster. So I'm going to try something, and this will help me for future events. So my baby account, I have pretty much done everything. I just need to hatch an egg, 0 out of 4. Do I have anyone I can hatch? Well, I can do this real quick, and then I can breed. Watch, I can do a very fast Pandakin breed. Doesn't have to be Pandakin, it can be Treezard, it can be anyone. Oh, perfect. I'll do a very quick Treezard breed. Treezard, start breeding. And what I'm even going to do on this baby account is I'm going to fight again, just to show you how much the cost gets reduced by. So I will pay those 2 gems, just to be able to attack again. And we will go ahead and auto this. Harpoon, and victory. Awesome. Works it out. Now the cost is down to 149. Wait, I spent more on skipping the fight than that. Okay, we're going to try this again. The cost is 149 right now. And let's try this. Auto. So I spent 2 gems. Okay, let's see. So it was 149. Now it's 148. What the heck? Okay, so skipping the fights, not a good idea. Alright, so we're going to place that Treezard. And then we're going to end up selling that Treezard. And we'll see what happens to the cost. This is interesting. So go to Common. Thunder Eagle. Yes. Exit out. Alright, so once again, we have my main account right here. That the cost is down to 150 gems if I would like to skip. And then we have my baby account over here. Let me sell the Treezard. And I got my item. See, so I had to put it from the hatchery onto the hatchery, from the ultra breeding tree into the hatchery, sell it, and then I was able to get my items. Let's go here. The cost is down to 147. So it's almost like the fight was pointless, doing those extra 2 fights, at least skipping. So anyhow, what I want to try and doing on this account is I have 242 gems, and one thing you gotta know is that there is an optimal point when you skip. So what I like to do, more or less, is going back to my main account. See how collect gold is 6 out of 29? Feed your monsters is 4 out of 16. Fight is 1 out of 3. Hatch eggs is 1 out of 4. When you first log into the game, you can do a full collection. You can come back 8 hours from now and do another collection, and then collect gold will be 12 out of 29. Feed your monsters will be 8 out of 16. Fight will be 1 out of 3. Hatch eggs will be 1 out of 4. If you log in another 8 hours, then collect gold will be at 18. Feed your monster will be at 12. Fight will be at 2 out of 3, and hatch eggs will be at 1 out of 4. If the cost is in the low, for me personally, like low 40s or something, I may go ahead and just skip so I can start the day already on the next one. Or if not, usually what I like to do is wait till I complete the Feed Your Monster challenge and then skip. Meaning that in one day I would be skipping, because once I have Feed Your Monster at 16 out of 16, I'm not going to go ahead and wait just for some collect gold items. I might as well just gem it. So that's normally what I do. But it's, again, I don't personally know if there's an optimal time. I think someone on Discord may post an optimal time to skip everything. But let me just kind of play through a different style. Let's assume I just pay the 147 gems. Alright, I got my 20 cells. And now these are the new things I have to do. The minute you pay gems to skip, or the minute you start a new node, you can actually start collecting items again. So this is super important, don't forget that. So let's say before you want to go to sleep, the cost is low enough to where you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and gem it so I can, so it resets right now, so that way when you can collect all of your items, go to sleep, and then when you wake up you can collect items again. That's one strategy you can utilize. So again, I don't know exactly when to skip, I don't know none of that, but there's just that basic strategy of like, if the cost is low enough, if it seems low enough, go ahead and skip. So I already spent 147 on my baby account. Let's go ahead and do everything. Let's go ahead and collect. So let me collect gold. Let me feed corrupt this. And sometimes you'll notice that when you do start the next node, it takes a while to get all of the collect gold items. That's fine. Breed of monsters and fight multiplayer. Fight multiplayer, you can pretty much do whatever. So I'm going to sell the Treezard. I'm going to make a Treezard. I'm going to collect gold. I'll probably get like 2 or 3 or 1. That's fine. I'm going to feed this monster. The feeding you normally get right away. See, +4. So the collect gold is the only one that takes more time whenever you do this. So again, if you're not getting your items, I got +1, +1. Whenever you're not getting your items, just go back to the advice I said, and I got a +1 for Treezard. Awesome. Exit out of the game, go back into the game, and that typically always tends to work. So we'll go ahead and try that. So I'm going to keep track. I'm going to be comparing how much it costs my baby account for the whole event. Right now it's 147, and technically I spent 4 extra gems fighting again. And then I'm going to keep track on my main account, where I am just going to wait until the cost is reduced a little more. Because 150 gems to skip right now, ooh, that seems steep. But we're going to see the difference. Alright, let's exit out here. Watch, I'm probably going to get 2 or 3. Collect, oh, I got all 4, nice. So if I click back on the Tails event, 6 out of 44, 4 out of 24, 1 out of 6, 0 out of 8 on multiplayer. To be honest, multiplayer, I can do that. That one doesn't take too long. So now you know essentially kind of what it costs. So for both accounts, I will be logging in 8 hours. I will set a timer. I'll come in 8 hours. I'll collect gold. I'll feed. I'll breed. And in the meantime, I'm not going to do any of it. Now, you could come in 4 hours and you'd get 2 feed your monster items. You wouldn't be able to get the breed your monster item, and you would get half, maybe, of the collect gold item. 3, you might even get 4. So that's kind of how that works. I hope that made sense. Again, as far as like asking me, Armor, when is it when is the best time to skip? I honestly can't say. Just because I've never really focused too much on it. I've just been like, okay, the cost is low enough now, I'm gonna go ahead and skip. So this is pretty much all the information I can give you. Players have said from the previous event, from the Van Dekken's Tale, that they were able to get it for as low as 150. That seems like too good of a price to me. Because if I think right now, on the baby accounts, there's 3 days and 22 hours. If I wanted to finish the feed your monster items, I need to do a login in 8 hours to be at 8 out of 24, and then in 16 hours to be at 12 out of 24, and then in 24 hours to be at, what is that, 4 times 4, 20, no, 4 times 5, 20 out of 24, and then it'll take 1 day, and, 1 day and 8 hours to do all the feed your monsters, and then collect gold would be like at 30 something, 36 or 30. Is it possible to get it for low price? 150 seems very low to me. Maybe 200, but definitely 250 is what I've experienced. But with that being said, the information is out there. Now you guys know. If anyone wants to post in the comments below, if you guys do know the actual optimal time to skip, like after X amount of days or anything, definitely let me know in the comments below. I will pin it to the top so that everyone can see. With that being said, guys, I hope you were able to get the Rara Tails event. Getting the tokens itself was very easy. Now I hope you have the gems so they can get the monster. If you want to know my thoughts on this monster, whether I think it's worth getting or not, make sure to check out the analysis. There will be a link in the description below. Thank you very much, guys. Remember to subscribe. I will see you all next time.